Hello and welcome to Davilo's Journey. We are here in Singapore for episode number 33. It's a night race. It is dynamic conditions with a 38% chance of rain. We're starting on the option tyres on pole position here in Singapore. After the recent news that Sergio will not be racing for the team, he has put two pole positions together to prove that he is... he's set up... I believe, yeah, he did get pole position in Italy, so yeah, he has got two pole positions together. Hamilton in second and Alonso in third. But remember, we found out that fans were rioting over the fact that Sergio doesn't have a seat for next season. Will Ferrari respond with a contract offer? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out, but the fans are definitely not happy. They've complained and complained, and there's been banners outside of the Singapore track today. Even the Asian fans getting upset. Ferrari is a worldwide team, and when you have such a young talent like Sergio Davilo driving, he's been described as the next Ayrton Senna for the team, for the sport, but sacking him isn't the wisest choice, fans feel. He could be down in the Caterham or Marussia, but that is not where we want to see him, as we're away here in Singapore for the first of the Asian Grand Prix, going into the first corner, leaving enough room for any cars, but no one seems to go for the move, and Sergio just breezes through into that first corner, takes a little bit more of a wider line expecting, but look at the gap he's pulled already. So these guys are squabbling already over the second position, and Sergio has just stormed away. So this could be a pretty simple race for Sergio. Very confident around Singapore. Needs to pick up a race win, really. His last race win, if I'm correct in saying, was actually in Canada, only picking up one so far. So it's not the greatest thing in the world. And we come to lap 5, and Sergio decides he's going to come in for pits, get the stop over and done with, and then he can just easily jump some cars. And you can see he's got a bit of a gap to the next car behind. There's Fernando going through, who is for some reason now 1.4 seconds ahead of him. But this pit stop, hopefully we'll give him a new fresh set of tyres, which you can then go ahead and set some really fast laps on. And let's see how Sergio deals with this whole situation. Now you can see he's just coming through, and what about, I'm not sure whereabouts he's going to come out, but his rival for this is Nico Rosberg, and it's been linked that Red Bull, Mercedes and Lotus are all very interested in the young Brazilian driver. Williams and Force India have offered him contracts, and I have read your comments saying that you want him to go there, and he comes out of the pit lane. There's Esteban Gutierrez. Didn't expect it. Gutierrez should have been a bit more wary, I feel. Sergio was just exiting the pits. He can't see any cars behind him really going into this corner now. Gutierrez very slow, and we're now going to see the difference in traction, I feel, from these new set of tyres compared to the old set. Here we are, DRS using some curves, and he just easily breezes past Gutierrez, having to brake into that corner very, very early, compared to Sergio, who can take the racing line very cleanly and will look to set the fastest lap of this race. On lap 12 now, you see, we've dealt with all these things, and he's coming up to some back markers here. So the first back marker, let's have a look who it is. I know it's a Caterham. I think it's Pick. It is indeed Charles Pick. As you're about, no, it's Van der Gaard. Wow, making a mockery of myself. There's Pick though. So Van der Gaard's in 20th. Pick's in 19th, Bianchi is in 18th, and he's actually looking to overtake Nico Hulkenberg. So something's going on there for Hulkenberg. The Caterham's having a bit of a swap around. Chilton. Wow, Chilton as well doing a fantastic job in that car. So it's not Chilton, it's Bianchi. So it's not Bianchi, it's Chilton. So Chilton doing a great job, and Hulkenberg then also getting lapped. So in the space of 3 corners, Sergio's lapped many, many teams. As we're coming through now on the pit stop, lap 17. He decided to put on another set of them prime tyres, the beautiful prime tyres, obviously, that will get him hopefully for another load of lapped times that he can feel confident to set some decent positions on. I'm getting confused now. No, he needs these prime tyres to be at their optimal temperature, so he can try and get away from the pack. And he's come out in 7th position, which isn't too bad. There's Paul di Resta, and there's Adrian Sutil looking for a move, but Paul di Resta will be his target, and we can see Jensen Button there in 8th position, who I'm not sure whether he's pitted or not, but we're going to have to find out whereabouts Fernando's going to be on track. You can see he's not too far away, and you can also see that blue indication meter, which really sums up the distance where he is, and he's pitted earlier than the rest of the cars. On lap 17 continuing, there's Paul di Resta breaking into this corner. Look at the amount of grip he's got on that car, how later he could brake than Paul di Resta. Now he's going to have to look for the move. He's going to have to dive up the inside if he wants to get past. He has to. He's also broken a lot later and had to dive. That was an evasive move by Sergio to not make contact. Now though, on lap 19, he's behind Lewis Hamilton and Mark Webber, who are provisional first and second, and you see there he gets past Hamilton, and now he's going to get past Webber as they both go into the pits. So Sergio has indeed got a pit stop's worth of a gap to the rest of the cars. You can see now intermediate weather conditions as he decides to dive into the pits and go onto the intermediate tyres. So the dynamic conditions here in Singapore are starting to show. Putting on a set of them intermediate tyres, he doesn't get held up because he's got such a massive gap to the next car along. You can see that Fernando isn't even come around the final corner, and he's almost at the pit exit, and they're all going to have to come into the pits as well because of these intermediates. So here they all come into the pits, and Sergio has just exited the pit lane, so the Ferrari boys would have had enough time to get Fernando's tyres out there, going into that corner, getting a little bit of a weird one, a little bit of a weird line because of the weight. He doesn't know what sort of grip he's having, but he does rejoin in first position. And with all these held up times because of this pit stop, and he's got such a large gap to the rest of the car, Sergio should be looking at a very clean and easy race here today, picking up maximum points and a fantastic time difference. You can see Fernando hasn't even exited the end of the pit lane, and Sergio is just pushing and pulling away now. As the gap, we're not even going to know what the gap is. We'll find out what the gap is later on. On lap 28 now, you can see what the conditions are like, and they are definitely wet conditions now. The rain is torrential. Fernando and all that haven't gained any time. He's behind one of the Marussia drivers. He dives into the pit lane. He's going to put on a set of them blue tyres, giving him extra grip in these wet conditions. They will just hopefully get him to the end of that race with a nice gap, and it's a decent time sent out by Sergio and the boys. And you can just see there's the Marussia coming out ahead of him, so the Marussia's actually gained quite a bit of time there. Don't know if Sergio had a little bit of a issue, but he didn't freeze on my screen. He might have had a front wing change, but I don't believe he did, because it was a very clean and easy race for Sergio. Remember, Fernando and all of them pack have to come in for pit as well, and they were 27 seconds behind him when he came into the pit stop. So Sergio is definitely dominant here in Singapore. On lap 31, he comes to the end of the race, and Vettel has jumped Fernando Alonso, 25-second gap, and Sergio Davilo has won here in Singapore. Last year finishing third behind John-Eric Verne. John-Eric Verne having a fantastic race last time out, and Vettel winning, but Vettel finishes second this time, and it's a Ferrari 1-3. And Sergio proving to one another once again he's a world-class driver, second and first in his previous two races. As we go to Korea, will Sergio be able to prove that he is worth the position at Ferrari? You can see some of the other drivers finishing. 10th place went to Adrian Sutil, a double point scoring position in 8th and 9th for the Lotus guys, who are not having the best of the season. Button doing a great job in 6th position for the team, Lewis Hamilton in 4th position, Sebastian Vettel in 2nd position, as obviously this battle for 2nd position in the Drivers' Championship continues, and also the battle for Constructors. Fernando does look likely though to be stealing the Drivers' Championship away from all of his competitors, as he's been dominant from start to finish all season long. Paul di Resta down in 20th position, and also Sergio Perez in 21st was a disappointing race for him. Sergio in 5th position in the Constructors, and you can see 67 points separates Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. 107 points off Fernando is Sebastian Vettel, 112 points off is Mark Webber, 116 points is Sergio Davilo. In all seriousness, only the top 5 really have a chance of challenging for the Drivers' Championship, and 100 points separate Scuderia Ferrari and Mercedes AMG. 103 points separate Scuderia Ferrari and Infinity Red Bull Racing, but only 3 points separate the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Guys, at this point, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. My name is OTG. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys very, very shortly for more news, views, and of course, Formula 1 2013 content here on my channel. Bye, guys.